Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 311. We're a rap rock group this week.
From the 90s.
Yes, that's right. What happened to those guys? Golly. It's your
They're
boy.
still around.
Are they?
They're touring.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
we keep at it, brothers. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh man, what a week!
Yeah.
Jeez, la freaking wheeze. I'm guessing as we roll into our week updates that they're gonna have a similar tone. We obviously what day was that? Friday? Saw the was it Friday,
I don't even remember
Saturday?
when that was now.
I'm trying to remember where I was. I think I was in North Carolina when everything was going down with the shooting that happened in Florida at the Madden event. Chris, you were saying you saw it later in the day.
Yeah, I don't even remember, honestly, what day it was, but I was thinking it was this week. But whatever day it was, I wasn't on social media. Like, I was busy doing stuff, and I didn't even see it till, like, way late in the evening. Like, I wasn't checking news or anything. I was just head down doing stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I was at work. So it had to have been Friday or Monday.
I think it was Friday. Right?
Was it Friday? I literally can't remember what day it was. This week has been so jumbled up for me. Just because we didn't have internet over the weekend. I think it was Sunday.
I think it was Sunday. I think you're right. The 26th.
Because I think I left on Friday. Saturday, I was at Dollywood. Sunday, I was in North Carolina. And I just remember being at a church when everything was going down. But I think this is going to consume any gamer's weekend.
Oh, yeah.
This awful thing that happened at the landing in Florida. If for some reason you've been living under a rock, there was just another awful shooting that happened this weekend at a Madden event in Florida. 2 people were killed. Elijah Clayton and Taylor Robertson, 22 and 28 years old. Elijah from California, Taylor from West Virginia. And I mean, details obviously will be coming out still over this next week, so we don't want to talk on it too much, but we definitely want to touch on it. And this is one of the things where, like, it finally feels like thoughts and prayers aren't enough. You know what I'm saying? But, like, for me, I'm like, I remember I was talking to Toby about it. I was like, I just don't know what to do anymore. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to things like this. And this one, for some reason, maybe just because it was gaming centered, just hit so close for me.
Sure.
This weekend. And it ruined my whole day. We were sitting on the bus getting ready to do an event that was a charity event to raise money to put wells in Guatemala, I think, for clean water for people, something like that. And we raised money. It was a great event, but it kind of had that dark cloud over it for me. And I was just real sad over the weekend. And, I just didn't even really know how to feel about the whole thing.
Well, I think some of it is that, and I listened to the video stream of it too, and the shots were so close. Yeah, and I was just like, man, this could happen at any point in time, anywhere. And like, how do you prepare? You can't really prepare for anything like that. You just, I don't know. It's just, it's weird because it's just one of those things where you never know. Yeah.
And it was, one of my buddies was talking about it, and actually Toby had brought up, he was like, man, should we still go to PAX? And it was a thought that hadn't even entered my mind. But at the same time, it's like, you have to start looking at things like this. And I was telling Toby, I was like, man, you know what? I refuse to let hatred and crazy stuff like this make me cower and stay home. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this happened with we talked about it on the show. I was at a midnight showing of Batman when that shooting happened. It just happened to not be in my city, but like, I refuse to let stuff like that have me not going to midnight showings now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not like my theater all of a sudden has all this security and we're not walking through metal detectors to go into movie theaters and stuff like that now. And so I just don't know. I hate seeing people mad about the security only because like you don't know to have crazy security until something like this happens. Not that you shouldn't have security. I mean, Chris touched on it when we went to E3. He was like, man, we're just kind of in and out of there with our backpacks. You know what I mean? And like anything can happen. And you're just trusting that, nothing will. And then as things like this slowly keep happening, you're like, all right, well, okay, I guess now we need security there. And now we need security there. And I feel like. Yeah,
but I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like, you don't need to. I mean, I don't know that you can like blame. There's a lot of places where blame can go, and you can blame, the person who's responsible for this. But
yeah, that's where the blame.
At the same time, it's like, does it? Unfortunately, we're in a situation where it's like, does it have to happen in each different type of event for you to think, oh, now this event needs to be security stepped up? Like, and I'm not even talking about necessarily like more. And I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not saying I know what the answer is, and I have not been to one of these events. I've not been to an esports event. Like, I really wanted to go to see an Overwatch game. Like, I have no idea. Maybe every place handles security differently. And I agree that there should be no reason to feel like you need some, Fort Knox level security. But at the same time, it's like, do they not check bags and or wand people? I know when you go to a concert or if you go to a sporting event of any sort, you're either going through detectors or you're getting wanded and your bag is getting looked through. To me, that should be standard default at any gathering, any event, anywhere. And maybe it did happen. I wasn't there. I don't know. But like, if those type of things weren't happening, it's like people that are going to do these things
are going to look for those opportunities.
They're just going to constantly look for like, where's the place now where the security is the most lax kind of thing,
Yep.
I mean, and again, I don't mean to place blame or anything like that, because it's the only person to blame is the person who perpetrated this. But
right.
At the same time, it almost feels, anytime I go somewhere, like when we went to E3, even though that was years ago, it's like, man, it just feels weird how lackadaisical the security is to get in here.
And
something crazy could happen.
Yeah, and they did step it up this last year. We weren't there, but they did talk about no backpacks unless you were a exhibitor, and then exhibitors still had to get their backpacks searched every time they went in and out. So it's nice that nothing terrible had to happen at E3 for them to finally implement that. But we also have to remember that E3 has been going on for forever without it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course, but before it was very heavily, you had to have credentials. So in a way that kind of, I mean, granted, I guess that stuff could be faked, but maybe that's why they didn't worry about it as much. I don't know.
The first couple of years I went, you didn't even have to show ID. You just had to have the badge on. You know what I mean? But then the year that we went, you had to show your ID every time you went in and out. So, they were tightening over time, and that's good. But I just feel like you said, Chris, perfectly, you can't blame that for it happening. No. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
right.
And I think people just are, because it's so out of whack that people are just looking for something to blame at this point.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, we blame the attacker, of course, but I mean, look at Vegas at the Jason Aldean concert. Like, same thing. It's like you can put all the security in the world together, someone's still going to be able to get something somewhere. Yeah. And I think Gabe, your point is completely accurate. It's like, do not live your life in fear, because that's essentially, and it's kind of like terrorism too, because that's what like they want you to do. They want you to be in fear all the time.
That's right.
Continue to live your life, continue to love others, continue to serve others. And you know what? If I'm going out like that, I'm going out like that at that point. It's like there's nothing you can do. There is no prep for this. Yeah. And that's, I think, to me, more the tragic part of it is there's no preparation for anything like this. And so you have to just continue living however you can.
Yeah. And and we don't want to be, for those that listen to this show, we're going to laugh today, we're going to joke around, but we obviously want to touch on this awful thing that happened up top. It happened in our community. This is the gaming community. And so we just wanted to bring it up and kind of put it at the forefront because this was an important thing, I know, for all four of us going into the show this week. So, I mean, you know, I've been praying for these guys in Florida. I've been praying for these people around the country because these aren't Florida people. You know, the gunman wasn't a Florida guy. The two guys that, you know, died weren't Florida people. And so, you know, this thing is going to have, you know, the ripple effect is going to go out all over the country. And so we want to encourage people to be praying, to be active in your communities and in whatever way, you know, you feel, you know what I'm saying? These things are continuing to happen. I know that this doesn't fall under the mass shooting thing because of the number, you know, whatever they consider. But like they were saying that like this is happening almost every day when it comes to a mass shooting. I think we've had 234 in this country and this year, and we're like in the 240th day of the year. You know what I'm saying? And so obviously there's something wrong in our culture. I don't know what the answer is. I wouldn't even step on a soapbox to even act like I know what the answer is. Right. But I do know that love trumps most things, and that in our individual lives, we can choose to love people, to love them well, and to be there that feel like they need to be loved when they're not loved in their own circle of family and friends and stuff like that, and continually reaching out. And this podcast will continue to do that, continue to love people that we don't agree with, continue to love people that live differently than us, because we know that that's the more important thing.
Amen, man.
Yep.
Amen.
Well said, dude.
Thanks. Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
Coming out of that, how was your week other than being devastated by that news?
You know, other than that, it was a pretty uneventful week here. Sarah and I just pretty much did our usual working out of the house kind of a thing. In other words, we didn't leave the house except to go to Dairy Queen.
Priorities, baby, priorities.
That's right. That's right. But you know, the upside of that is I got to play some games.
Yes, sir.
So I played. There was a free PSVR game on PlayStation, if you're a PS Plus member, called Here They Lie, that I'd never heard of. It came out in, I think, 16. And it was scary. It had a really nice jump scare. It was a lot of fun, but it got to a point where it's kind of one of those, you got to sneak around and get past the bad guy game, and I couldn't figure out how to get past him. So it wasn't that it was too scary for me. I just couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. So
was that the VR one that you were streaming?
Yes. Yes, it is.
If one of these shutters flies open over here on the left to be, oh, he got me.
That's awesome.
I only watched it like 20 times.
I was just very happy. Yes. The Tapmans were over and Nathan tried it, and as soon as that point was coming, I was like, here we go. And it got him just as good.
I'm not the only punk. Yeah.
That's right. Thanks to Game Pass, I downloaded Devil May Cry 4.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
And that was horrible.
Oh, no.
I spent, I mean, the first 10 minutes is watching. I didn't realize how Japanese game it was as far as weirdness goes.
Yeah.
And so it spent telling a story I did not understand a little bit.
Not even close, huh?
Not even close.
Do you think it's because you didn't know 1, 2, 3 or whatever's come before 4? Or do you think it's even beyond that?
I think, and I thought at the time, I was like, okay, this is probably for people who have played it, because I could tell that they kept showing scenes from earlier games because the graphics didn't look as good in some of the scenes they were showing.
Okay.
So it was kind of like a previously on.
Oh, okay.
But with no storyline, just kind of like, here's a scene. Remember this part? How about this part? This was weird, huh? And it was just like, what is happening?
That's amazing.
And so after about like 10 minutes of that, I finally got to push a button.
And
And it was the tutorial that was like, hey, try to jump up to dodge a bullet. And I would jump up in the air and they would shoot me in the air. And
You're like, wait, I thought I was dodging bullets.
Right. And then it would come up at the screen, jump in the air to dodge the bullets. And I'm like, I just jumped
in the air.
To
and
dodge
they
that
shot
bullet.
me and froze me in the air and continued to shoot me.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, try to, what was the wording? It was like, to dodge left and right, push L on the RB button on the L stick. And I was like, well,
What
these
does that
directions
mean?
make no
What the heck
sense.
does that mean?
So I tried a bunch of stuff and was like, well, I'm glad this game was free because I'm not playing it anymore. So,
Good day, sir.
good day. I doff my top hat to you. Good day. I said good day.
I say good day.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
I dipped into Mafia 3 for a little bit, just for the heck of it, just because I wanted to play it some more.
Yeah.
And then I've been playing in my waiting for Spider-Man to come out. I don't want to start anything too huge, too new. So I've been kind of going back. That's why I played Mafia 3 again and tried Devil May Cry 4, just trying different things out. And I thought, oh, you know what? I might jump into Sunset Overdrive again. I enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I forgot that that's also an Insomniac game.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
I also forgot how much fun that game is. And it has me even more jazzed for Spider-Man.
Really?
Just because it still feels so good. And the way you're moving around the city, you're not just running, you're jumping and you're wall running and you're sliding on telephone pole wires. And I'm like, okay, if this felt this good and it's a few years old, I can't wait to feel how good Spider-Man feels.
Wow.
So it got me so stoked. And man, that game is so funny. But I was looking forward to Spider-Man, but just playing another Insomniac game, I think got me more hyped than anything else. Just like, I can't wait for the next thing. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. And then this week, you guys, another one, another Overwatch convert.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Please welcome with open arms, Burnaby Butters.
Hey.
To the
Yay.
Overwatch fold.
Welcome, Burnaby.
We brought him in over the free Overwatch weekend, and at the last minute Monday night, he was like, I'm buying the game.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of fun playing with Burnaby and teaching him the ropes. And
Red Rover, will Router come over?
No, he won't.
No, he won't go over.
You know, he's
Probably
been coaching games that don't actually work like games. So he'll be like, Red Rover, I'm gonna stay over here, just make a grass angel.
We're more of a red light. We're more of a red light, green light kind of a team. But that's all right.
Red light, green light.
But that's pretty much been the week. It's been pretty low key and been nice just to kind of kick back with Sarah at the house and just relax.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Router? You guys been running around outside?
No, we've definitely been running around like crazy. We had our friends Melanie and Chris and their two girls stay with us this whole week, so it was nice. Piper just loves spending time with the girls, Annabelle and Chloe, and it was just a really good time. It was Annabelle's birthday on Friday, so we went down and did some Top Golf again.
Hey,
and
there
it
you go.
was so much fun. It really is. That's what now my third or fourth time going. And it's so much fun just to kind of hang out and
did you guys play Huge Jenga?
Huge Jenga? No.
Yeah, they have Huge Jenga there.
Do they
Oh,
really?
do they?
Where?
Mhm.
Where? Yeah.
Like back in the little areas, like you know, kind of like some of Top Golfs have a little fake grass outside seating area on like maybe the third level or something like that. And they have Huge Jenga back there.
Man,
Oh,
I wonder
that's
if
awesome.
ours has huge Jenga. I
We've
missed
always
it.
been on the second floor, so I haven't been on the first or the third yet. So maybe that's why I didn't know.
There you go.
But yeah, we had a great time there. Piper had a soccer game on Saturday. It was hot.
Yeah, boy.
But it went really well. I think our girls are starting to gel a little bit and get the whole new format of what's going on.
Boom.
Piper scored 2 goals, which was great.
Hey.
So it was just, there was just a lot going on. And this weekend is Labor Day weekend, so we don't have any games, which is nice. So it'll be nice to kind of decompress a little bit. But I feel like we've just been kind of running and gunning all week. So it was pretty crazy. But other than that, on the gaming front, yes, I did miss the Overwatch free weekend because I didn't really get to play at night at all, or I really didn't touch the PlayStation much, maybe like an hour on like at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, and then I was out. But still strumming along with South Park: The Fractured Butthole, and it is
nice.
It continues to be awesome as always, and just having man. I was looking at the trophies, and I'm like, to go for the platinum, I'm like, no, it's too. I think it's too much. And there's already so much going on in the game, so you're like, man, they want you to do this much more. I mean, nah. They're like, if it's not somewhat out for the taking, I probably won't do it. But yeah, so I'm continuing with South Park, and man, that Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay came out about 45 minutes, 48 minutes of it.
Yeah, brother.
Sat there and just watched it with my mouth open, like, this is going to take up a ton of my life.
Oh, really?
Man, people were loving that. I didn't watch it, but people's reactions got me excited about it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. I mean, I couldn't watch the whole thing anyways, but I was like, oh, I should check that out. And I just have
if
not
you get
done
a chance, take a look at it. There's
a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and I think at the start it could be overwhelming, but once you get into the groove, I think it's going to be great. But man, it's CD Projekt Red, so it's going to be big. It's. I
mean, does this game have even a hint of a release time frame?
I don't think so.
No, they still didn't have any.
The future.
Type of
See, to me, it's almost like, man, I don't even want to watch. Like, why get myself excited for something that could be 12 years
2077.
down the road? Yeah, exactly.
It probably will be in 2077. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. It's like, I was hoping like toward the end, like they would announce something or just give us a season of the year, for crying out loud. Give us something. But they gave us nothing, and you're right. It's like, I'm excited, but now like it's gonna go away in a few days anyway, and then what? Like, what are you gonna woo us with next? And if you're gonna woo us again, there better freaking be a release date at this point. So. I don't know. We'll see. I forgot to mention Piper's topic of the week as well is Dead Mouse. And no, it's not the DJ.
Oh, that's what I was hoping.
What?
EDM. Exactly.
Oh, your hands up.
Exactly. I like Dead Mouse. The other morning, I hear a scream from Lauren in the garage. And I'm like, what? And there's a little dead mouse just right by our garage door.
Sweet.
And so I bagged them up, and of course,
isn't it crazy when they scream at the ones like, it poses no threat?
Exactly.
Scream.
Well, and she was just screaming. I'm like, babe, what? Like, when you scream, you have to tell me what the problem is as I'm running to you, so I can kind of be prepared for it. And then she just
zombie.
Tim goes running in. Zombie. Oh, I forgot my machete. Dang it. So I just put it in a bag, and this was when Piper was in school, and I knew that she would want to see it. So
what?
When she got back,
what do you mean you knew she want to see it?
She's because she's curious about everything. She's like, I want to see it. Like, she even touched it on the outside of the bag and everything. So she's just
she's weird.
I mean, hey, we've had the life and death discussions, and it's just, it's one of those things, and this is a natural thing. And so here's a dead mouse. Enjoy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I knew that would be the topic of the week when I asked her. I'm like, hey, what do you want this topic of the week to be? She's like, dead mouse. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Should I be concerned?
Yeah, and, maybe.
Next week, Piper's topic of the week, rabies.
Exactly.
She's like, it looks like when I brush my teeth.
Exactly. Why is my mouth foaming?
Exactly.
So great.
I make my own toothpaste bubbles.
Are my eyes turning red? That's so great. So anyway, that's pretty much it for me. So I'm kind of looking forward to Labor Day weekend and being able to kind of chill for a little bit. I have no idea what we're doing yet, but that's fine. I'm cool with it.
There you go. Chris McCracken.
Yes. So this past weekend was the funeral that we had for my grandmother. So we ended up. We found out that, or didn't find her parents live about 2 hours from the location where the funeral was going to be, and we were about 3.5 to almost 4, depending on, you know, traffic and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we ended up going up to Oklahoma, which originally our plan all before this stuff all happened was we were going to be going to Oklahoma this past weekend anyways, because it was her brother's birthday and our niece's birthday was relatively soon, so we were going to celebrate them together. So we took the opportunity to kind of go up to Oklahoma anyways, kind of saw them a little bit Friday evening, and then we just woke up really early and we left by like 7 a.m. because we needed to be at the church by 9 or by 9:20 at the latest. So it kind of saved us one from being able to not have to purchase a hotel night or anything that night. Plus, we still got to see them for the birthday because our little niece was going to be going and staying with her mom, so that was going to be the only opportunity really to see her and give her birthday gift and all that kinds of stuff. And then Saturday, we made our way over to the funeral, and it was a nice funeral. I mean, as best as it can be. There was some family that I haven't seen in a really, really long time, so that was nice that virtually everybody that you could think of was there. There was, as you can imagine, tons of great things said, you know, about my grandmother, and it was good to get the healing going kind of thing, you know, and just mourn with other people that are in the same boat and that, you know, had just as much affinity for her.
Sure.
So then we ended up heading back to Oklahoma, and originally I think the plan was we had talked about just heading home from there. But I was kind of just wiped out, and Stacy was a little bit too. So we just ended up staying there over the evening one more time, and then woke up and just left kind of early on Sunday and got home. And then just from then on, it's just been working. I think I mentioned before that I have a big project at work it's a couple weeks away, but especially with next week being a holiday week and being shortened, we just have a lot of stuff going on. Plus, we had a few events and things taking place that we're going to divert our attention away from the coming project at work this week. So it's just been really busy with all the planning stuff. And sometimes the planning stuff for when a project is coming up can be some of the most fun, like coming up with concepts and which direction you're going to go. But then nailing down all the pieces to make sure that you can execute sometimes gets a little bit stressful because we tend to want to try something new and cool that we haven't done, or we try to push ourselves a little bit, and then it just gets I start to get a little bit on edge about like, oh man, you know, you just get nervous when you're like promising this and you're like, okay, I need to make sure that I deliver on this. You don't want to screw anything up. It's a good, like a nervous energy, a good that keeps you pushing and everything. But it's just, this is the time frame where like nailing down all the people that you're going to have to help, and nailing down talent, and nailing down location, and all these kinds of things. It's like all these pieces need to fall into a row, and if one piece doesn't hit and you can't find an alternative for that, it can kind of make everything a little bit wobbly. So I always get a little nervous during this time frame, just in general, until it all comes together and I can kind of breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief and then go into production, which is where all the magic happens and the fun, you know, can get going again. So it's just been working on that. There's really not anything else that's been happening or going on. I will say on the gaming front, I haven't really been playing much, especially with all the traveling we were doing over the weekend and then the busy week. I haven't really done anything, but I did on Friday night and then again on Saturday night. I did play a little bit of Detroit, but I played it via remote play on my Vita because I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I totally forgot that. And I always have the Vita, like it just lives in my backpack. So it's always with me, even though a lot of times I forget that I have it. And so I was like, well, I feel like I tried remote play from their house before, and I think it worked okay, but it wasn't like great. So I just thought, well, I know they've gotten a new internet provider, and I definitely have a new internet provider because we're at a different house. So I was like, I'm just going to give it another shot, and it worked really, really well.
That's great.
Especially for that kind of a game. Yeah, because it's not really Twitch heavy, and really all the button prompts, I don't have to worry about like hitting R2 a ton, which is relegated to the back touch, or R2 or L2, which is obviously not, ideal. You'd rather have a real physical button for that. But most of the stuff is R1, L1, or it's the face buttons and just moving around the room and inspecting things. So it actually worked out really, really well. The second night that I played, there were a few little hiccups where like the screen would maybe freeze, but the game, I could still hear the audio. And so they'd be talking about something, the screen would freeze for a second, but then it would catch itself. But that first night, I never even had that at all. It played literally like I was just playing it on the Vita, and it was really, really awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So yeah, for games like that,
That's great, man.
I feel like it's, and if you have decent internet connection, especially where your PS4 is, and then just at least okay, because my in-laws' internet is not like crazy good. It's just your average run of the mill, like, hey, yeah, we have internet kind of internet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right.
So, and it seemed to work fine. So anybody who's got a video out there, try it out. I mean, it did not work well for Overwatch. I did jump in just because I wanted to see it. I was like, yeah, no, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
We're not going to
Exactly.
be doing this.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what might work? Detroit. And sure enough, it did. It worked really well.
Mhm.
Nice. I
That's
like
pretty
that.
much it for me.
There you go.
Hi, Mr. Patillo.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina, huh?
Yeah, North Carolina and Dollywood.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, that's up there. Or wait, no, where's Dollywood?
Dollywood
That's
in
in East Tennessee.
Yeah, East Tennessee.
Ah, that's right.
So those were fine.
Very descriptive of you, sir.
Yeah, what was nice about those two shows were that they were inside, and so
Oh,
I
very
was
nice.
loving life for those reasons.
Mhm.
And then man, nothing's really been going on too crazy. I'm in the shed. It probably sounds a little different because this room is still bouncy as a mug, and I've got all like the acoustic foam sitting over in the corner, and one of my buddies is coming over tomorrow, and we're gonna kind of suss out the room and try to get it not so crazy
sweet.
sounding in here. So yeah, so this was the first morning I made the walk outside, like, all right, let me go outside to the shed. So
Wait till it's wintertime. It'll be fun.
exactly. So I'm glad to have heat and air in here. Yeah, not too much is going on. This weekend, like I mentioned earlier, headed to PAX. So coming to Seattle with Toby and Moses again to do PAX
awesome.
West. Real quick, Toby's got to turn in his album on like the 3rd of September. So we're going out there. We're flying out there Friday morning, doing PAX Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday flying home. And so we're just doing it real quick, but it'll be nice to run up there and see Stancil and hang out with him for a little bit and see what's going on with PAX.
There you go.
Yeah, take Moses back there up there and have a good time. And then
is it weird that I feel like you just did that?
It does feel like you just did that.
It feels like you just did that. Yeah, it's so weird.
I can see that. That makes sense.
Yep.
It doesn't help that there's like 3 different PAXs now. And so every time somebody says PAX, I'm like, oh my gosh, again? Like, which one? What the?
Yeah, and they're all spread out, right? Yeah. You guys have one
I really
in
want to
Texas.
go to PAX South. Yeah, I really want to go to. It's been, I think it's every year it's been in San Antonio. I think originally when it came, they were saying it may move and go hit a couple different areas in the South because it's supposed to be the one representing the South area of the country. But I think every time it's been in San Antonio, which is really, I mean, it's kind of far. It's about 5.5 hours, but relatively speaking, it's not that bad. Like I could drive there. I really want to check it out at some point. I just haven't had the opportunity yet.
There you go. So yeah, we're just getting ready for that trip and for our trip next week, and man, going along with life with a first grader, and a little bit of homework that she's bringing home, and she's doing like spelling tests and stuff now. I'm like, oh crap!
Yep.
I'm like, she can't
math.
Yeah, she can't spell, so we'll have to see how all this goes. But
look,
why
Dad,
you're working
cat.
on
No, that is not spelled cat.
Exactly. But it's funny because she brings home her her spelling list, and it's like is, a, if, of, and you're like, oh, okay, well, if we can't get this down, then we're in trouble.
We're just gonna pull her now.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we should homeschool, not because that'll be better, but just so we don't embarrass ourselves.
Nah, man, she's got it.
Yeah. So that'll be that's fun. Life moves on. So not anything too crazy since I had like unplugged everything and plugged everything back in. I did have an embarrassing thing I wanted to share with you guys. It's more like a confession.
We need
it's
that.
more like a confession. Please. And Chris is gonna get on me. Somebody, I forget who it was, maybe it was Mark Boucher. He said he was having a birthday and he was like, hey, I'm gonna have a birthday party on Overwatch, so anybody who can come through and play, come play. And I thought was an awesome idea. By
that
the way, was a great idea.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, I'll definitely go jump into Mark Boucher's Overwatch birthday bash. I couldn't find that disc, man. I don't know where that disc is. So I mean, I definitely remember Milo grabbing the case one day, and I was like, "Hey, give that back." You know what I'm saying? And so I'm moving all my stuff out here. Got my PlayStation out here. Yeah. Stop with that. And then I have in the shed. I have all my games in like a drawer, and so I came in the other night to play and opened the drawer, opened the Overwatch case, nothing. I was like, no. So I have no idea where my Overwatch game is, and that's really disappointing. And I was like,
you know where mine is? On my hard drive.
Exactly. I was like, oh, Chris McCracken is gonna kill me when he finds out.
He's gonna absolutely murder
you. And if for some reason it disappears, I go to the store and re-download
it. So
making a case for it.
Yeah, digital games 1, kids around video games 0.
That's exactly right.
Kids who like to hide and seek.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Oh, I was so mad. I was like, geez. And then Jenny was like, oh, I know what. She's like, I'm pretty sure I put it in we have like a little entertainment center in our living room, you know, how everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's in the Queen Latifah case.
Exactly. It's in the UNITY single case.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, okay. She was like, whenever I see something like that, I just put it in there. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went down there and sure enough, there's a game, except it was Just Dance 2018, not Overwatch. I was like, man, these jokers taking all kind of games out the freaking case.
So maybe it's in the Xbox.
No, it's not in the Xbox because we were playing Just Dance 2015 the other day.
Oh,
because we couldn't find 2018.
You know, I forgot. I too have a confession.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it.
It's not nearly as yours isn't bad, I guess. It's sort of bad.
It's bad.
I downloaded Fortnite.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, there's nothing wrong
But
with
that's
that.
as far as I got.
Okay. Well, I've done that too. I've downloaded it on literally all my systems. I have it on my PlayStation. I have it on the Xbox and my Switch.
I did have it on PlayStation and Xbox. I think I deleted it from PlayStation, but I have it on Xbox still.
But I was watching a guy stream it this week, and he doesn't build.
Really? Does he win?
Yeah. He's like, I don't really like the building aspect of it, and so I just shoot other people's buildings down. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll download it.
Yeah, and supposedly that's easier to do now. From that
so
new story that I guess we had not too long ago.
Oh, that's right. You talked about that. Was it last week you talked about that, Chris?
I think it was longer than that, but it wasn't too long ago. I think it was in July sometime, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
So, Ed, you didn't try it.
I didn't try it.
Download
try it. Just download it.
I mean, it's a perfect game. Any game that's free, I feel like, is worth at least trying.
Exactly. That's what I thought.
That's true.
And honestly, I would still dabble with it if I didn't enjoy H1 way more. And H1 is also free. And I own PUBG. I actually paid money for that. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
There you
go.
Yep.
So that's it for me. Router, you got it?
I got it.
Oh, by the way, Overwatch is only $30 right now digitally.
Oh, that is. You know, it's funny because, you know, Overwatch
I was hoping to be less.
Yeah, exactly. Overwatch is a game that I bought and then fell in love with. If I would have known at all that Overwatch was going to be in my life what it became, I would have got it digitally. Like,
so did you not play the whatever the beta or whatever when it came out, the open beta for Overwatch? Did you only play the actual game when it came out? I don't remember. Okay.
I don't remember. But like Mario Kart and games like that, I only have digitally because I know I would go back to it.
Yeah.
But just that early on, I didn't know that I would go back to Overwatch. But I think in hindsight, I still like buying physical, but games like that, I need to own digitally. Like Call of Duty and all that, I own all those digitally. I don't own those physically because I know
I'm just saying,
play those.
I'm just saying I bought Overwatch digitally. You're welcome, Chris.
Oh, I should have called you last night and asked for your password so I could play.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I like the way his best router voice the whole time.
Exactly. Exactly. Router, you got this thing?
You.
Yeah, exactly.
No sneezing, no mo.
No. New and improved router.
I know, the new and improved non-pollinated router. Yes, I have new releases.
Well, then, let's do it!
right, I'm going to be talking quite a bit because we've got lots going on.
Oh,
New
yeah?
releases this week. There's a lot of new releases at the end of this month. So here we go. Yakuza Kiwami 2 for the PS4. Strange Brigade for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. Victor Vran Overkill Edition for the Switch. Call of Duty World War II Shadow War DLC pack for the PS4. That's a 30-day exclusive, apparently. De Blob 2 for the Switch. Middle Earth Shadow of War Definitive Edition. Here we go with all the editions. PC, PS4, Xbox One. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for the Switch. Firewall 0 Hour for the PSVR. Rocket League Ultimate Edition for the PS4 and Xbox One. I feel like there's one every year that's an Ultimate Edition for Rocket League.
Oh, yeah. They've repackaged that thing a couple times.
Yeah, seriously. Donut County for the PC, PS4, and iOS. It sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does.
Switchblade, PC, PS4. Torn for the PSVR. The Walking Dead, the complete first season for the Switch.
That's right.
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, exactly. The last horse crosses the finish line.
That's right, really? Far Cry 5, Dead Living Zombies DLC for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. Shikandu, Soul Eater for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. DayZ, Xbox game preview for the Xbox One.
Preview?
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't seen that one before. PES 2019 for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. Freedom Planet for the Switch. Haunted Dungeons, Hyaki Castle for the PS4 Switch. Azure Reflections for the Switch. The Messenger for the PC and Switch. Divinity Original Sin 2, PS4, Xbox One. Shadows Awakening, PC, PS4, Xbox One. Collection for the Xbox One. And Naruto to Burruto, Shinobi Striker, PC, PS4, Xbox One. That is the greatest title.
I like it.
So I got the Naruto to the Burruto. Let's do this.
You know what I'm saying? Don't Naruto my Burruto. You know what I mean?
That's right. don't get your Naruto into my Burruto.
Some refried beans in my Burruto.
Exactly.
No, we're not Naruto in that. Yeah.
That's right. There's no Naruto there.
All right, cool.
We did have one oops that's on me, Burnaby Butters. Lil Rashy didn't show up for Overwatch on the free weekend. And there it is.
No.
And I'll just move on from there.
Lil Rashy.
That is true. Lil Rashy did not participate.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that and I was like, yeah, call me a little not surprised.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. That's your official new rap name, Ed. Well done. I will say, Ed,
right.
thank you again for another Jackbox Friday this past Friday. That was I got 2 games in and then I had to bounce. But man, I'm looking forward to it every Friday now. So don't disappoint.
I have another confession.
Another confession.
Oh man, Gabe.
So I was watching because like when Ed, not a lot of times, but sometimes when Ed streams, I'll just put it on in our living room. And just have it as background noise to, because it need the views, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And so I was doing that and Ed had mentioned like video games, we see you lurking, why don't you play? But I was doing a bunch of stuff, so I couldn't play. And then for some reason, I just had a brain fart and I was like, yeah, I'll hop in one real quick. And then I hopped in as, okay, exclamation point.
That was you?
That was me.
Oh, that's funny.
So what happened was I signed in and I was like, yeah, I'll play. And then Jenny came home with all the kids. And I was like, oh, shoot, I can't play. Let me jump out before they start. So I left, not knowing that even when you close down the window, it doesn't kick you out of the game.
Right.
And so I hear Ed in the background like, oh, who's okay? I guess we have to have the timer run out every single question now. And I was like,
that is awesome.
Oh no. So I'm like jumping back in, like with my phone down by my side, trying to like not look like I'm playing a game while I'm trying to help.
Oh, that's amazing.
Help Jenny get all the kids and all the groceries situated.
Jeez.
So I hop in a round late and still got second place on that thing.
Yeah, buddy.
That was amazing.
But I felt so bad because I didn't realize that's the way it worked. And I was like, funny. Oh, shoot. And he's like, And he's kind of like, this is bad. We have to wait every single, and the countdown timers are longer because he's streaming
like
it.
80 seconds.
Oh my gosh, I felt terrible. And I was like,
That's hilarious.
So funny.
85.
yeah.
87.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so
I was
great.
like, shoot. So I'm like half playing, half looking over the TV. It's turned way down. I was
That's
like,
so funny.
this
That's
sucks
great.
right now. I'm missing the votes.
Thank you, Ed, for the Jackbox
Oh,
Fridays,
yeah.
man. It's great. I love it. It's so
And
much fun.
I grabbed that the Jackbox Humble bundle that has.
Oh, nice.
And so I have now installed on my laptop. You Don't Know Jack 1, 2, 3, and the Ride.
Yeah.
And
wow.
you can play those one player. And I forgot how much I played those games because I was like, I remember this answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered. It just brought back so many fun memories. Man, those games are good.
That's awesome.
awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, moving on. We do have MPD for July.
They got back to work.
They finally got back to work. They had a summer break. This is for US only. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch was July's best-selling hardware platform in both dollars and units sold. This is the seventh month that the Switch has led in hardware dollar sales since launching in March of 2017.
Nice.
Good for
Gaming
them.
industry in the U.S. generated $749 million in revenue in July. That's up 14% from $655 last year. PC and console software, $246 million, down 12% from $280 million. And accessories were up 49%, $286 million from $193 million last July. Here we go. Top 10 games. Number 10, Gabe, you'll be so happy. Mario Tennis Aces.
Hey, staying in there.
That's right. Number 9, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Number 8, The Crew 2. Number 7, Super Mario Odyssey.
Really?
Number 6, Far Cry 5.
There we go.
Nice.
Number 5, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Wow, the Switch is representing last month. Huh.
Well,
People need games for all their new consoles.
did they bundle Zelda with the Switch? Do you know?
I mean, they did early on, I feel like.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's still a thing.
Not like a recent new one, though. That's an old game. It's a year and a half old game.
Yeah.
Aren't both pieces of... Because wasn't the DLC for that game, there was only going to be 2 pieces of it, and weren't they both out now?
I don't know.
They've been out for a while? Yeah,
I don't know about that. I don't do DLC, really.
Clearly.
That's on any game,
boy
by the
don't
way.
like a DLC.
I'm not throwing shade at Zelda. I just don't really do DLC.
Yeah. Number 4, Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy.
Oh, wow.
Number 3, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, creeping up in the top 3. And number 2, GTA 5, as always.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here it is. Number 1, Octopath Traveler.
Wow, the
yeah.
Switch really represented last month.
The
Right.
persistent narrative around Nintendo is that the Switch, quote, doesn't have any games, yet it is having the dominant summer of 2018.
Wow.
After coming out on top with Mario Tennis Aces in June, Octopath Traveler took number 1 spot in July. Half of July's top 10 bestsellers are Nintendo platform exclusives. Nintendo is the top-selling full game software publisher for both July and year to date. Nintendo Switch is the only platform showing year-on-year growth in full game dollar sales, with gains of up to nearly 70% compared to a year ago.
Wow.
Year-to-date sales of full game software have more than doubled when compared to a year ago. So I tip my hat to you, Nintendo. Well done.
Yes.
They
that's
pretty much
awesome.
are rocking the summer of 2018.
That's so great. I love hearing that. I did download the that demo, by the way. All right.
Your boy loves a demo.
Your boy loves a demo. And it's fun.
Octopath, are you talking about?
Yeah, Octopath. I'm not a huge 8-bit guy. I don't know. That bugs me a little bit. Continues to bug me, but it's fun. I like it. I could see myself like maybe on a tour
Wasn't
or
Golf
something.
Story 8-bit-ish, or was that 16?
Yep. Golf Story was, and I really liked that game.
Yeah, I remember you liking it.
Nice.
That's right.
That is it for me. Back to you, gentlemen.
Chris McCracken, hit us off with some good news.
All right, so I am curious what you guys' thoughts is on the new Microsoft Xbox All Access. Are y'all familiar with this?
Yes.
Sort of.
The other two, you guys? Okay, so basically what it is it's a way to finance an Xbox One.
Mhm.
So you can pay $35 a month and you can get yourself an Xbox One X. And it includes, well, hang on. It includes a subscription to Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass. And you sign up to our 2-year commitment. So that's $35 a month. Or if you want just an Xbox One S, you can do the same deal, but it's $22 a month.
Yeah.
So at the end of the 2-year term, and the other weird thing is that at least at the moment, you can only sign up for this at a Microsoft store.
Right.
You can't do it like at Best Buy or GameStop, or I don't even think you can do it online. Maybe there's an online way to do it, but it reads like you can only sign up for it at an Xbox store. So basically, the way that breaks down is that after 2 years, you've paid about $860 for an Xbox One X and all the that it comes with the subscription to Xbox Live and Game Pass for that entire duration. And then if you do the Xbox One S, it comes out to $130. So for the Xbox One X, basically, if you were to buy all that stuff today,
wait,
if you were to buy the Xbox One X, you were to buy
what comes out to $130?
No, the one that's got to be more than that.
Excuse me. It comes out to $130 cheaper than if you were to just buy all that today. Sorry, my bad. But the Xbox One X, it basically is a wash. It comes out to the exact amount that you would buy if you were to pay for all that stuff ahead of time right now today.
Oh, really?
Now, obviously, that doesn't take into account that like there's going to be deals, and then when Black Friday comes around, maybe there's going to be
that's at
a reduced
MSRP
price on the Xbox One X. What's that?
That's at MSRP. Is what you're saying? Yes,
the price of everything right now. If you do it on the Xbox One X side, you actually end up saving about $130 because the cool thing about this, to me, is that yes, you are signing up for a 2-year commitment, if you will. But after the 2 years, my understanding is you get to keep the console because you basically paid for it, and 2, it's 0% financing, so there's no interest incurred on this. You're basically just slowly paying it.
Okay.
So what do y'all think?
Let me ask you this though. I thought that, so let's say the Xbox One S, how much is that if you just were to buy it?
I think it's like $200 or $250, something like that.
So I think you end up paying about $120 more over the 2 years than you would have if you just bought it straight out on the Xbox One S side of things.
Really?
Well, because let's say the Xbox One S is I'm seeing it for $230. And then you have Xbox Live, which is $60 a year. And then you have Xbox Game Pass, which is $10 a month if you did the month thing. You know, that comes out to like $120, $60, and then $230 is like $500 something. But if you did the let's see, 230 plus 60 plus 120 is 410, right? Minus taxes. But if you pay $22 for 24 months, that's $528.
Yeah, they're making money.
So they're making a little bit of money, but to your point, if you want to get in for everything for at least 18 months or 19 months, really that's I think the break even point. But that's without taxes and things like that. So I still like it, to tell you the truth. I mean, they got to make a little money. They're making money on the console once you pay it off. On Xbox Live, like you're saying, a lot of times there's deals on that. But I think that I still think that it's a great deal. I think it'd be a great Christmas present for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. It's a cheap way to get in there instead of, up front paying $400 to $500 for all the stuff. And you could be gaming, I don't know if it's like you go into the Microsoft store and sign up for it and they give it to you right then, or if, or how that goes. But I still like it regardless, even if you do pay a little extra.
I mean, it's definitely great if you can't afford to drop the money right away. I think that's a pretty smart thing to do, just to kind of cover your basis for everybody. I'm not one of those people that are like, man, I do not want to pay this over so many months if I can avoid it. So, I mean, it seems great. Yeah, they got to make a little bit of money off of it, but I like that they're opening this up, especially for people that may not be able to afford it, all that money right away.
Yeah,
I agree. Great Christmas present.
Yeah,
that's a good way to go.
How did, sorry to go back to the price thing. You said that you saw it for the Xbox One X specifically for $229, basically $230.
The S The S?
Yeah, the S.
For $230 on the Microsoft Store right now.
Yeah, so 230 plus 60 plus 60 and then 120, 120. Doesn't that come out to 590?
No, but the Game Pass is $10 a month, isn't it? Isn't that $120 a year?
So for 12 months, that'd be $120.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what's your question?
So am I not doing this right? 230 plus 60 plus 60 plus 120 plus 120? 590 is what I'm getting.
And then 22 times 24
and
is
you just
2
do
years.
all that, you come out, I'm getting 528 or 530 if you do it the other way. So it doesn't seem, I don't know why the article said that you'd be saving $130, but
yeah,
it's 22 times
you're definitely
24
not, you're
months.
definitely not saving money by doing it.
That's what I'm coming out that if you were to buy it all outright today,
Mhm.
that you would be, well, actually, hang on, let me look at this. That it would be 590, right?
Don't
Am
you
I doing
get
that
the
right?
first 3 months whenever you buy an Xbox free?
I don't know if you do or not. Is that bundled?
Math live.
Usually, I mean,
You get 3 months. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know. Although I'll say for me, the only one that I would want to do is the Xbox One X, especially if you're doing the financing. Granted, I understand everybody's situation is different, but if you're in the situation where you're wanting to pay for it a little bit as you go, I feel like, hey man, up it to $35 and get the banging version. I mean, because you're already getting yourself a deal, quote unquote, by paying less upfront or right off the bat. And to me, I think this is a great idea. Number one, they are obviously going to make some money off of it, but I don't think this is a play about making money. This is more a play about just locking people in and getting people. And honestly, like, this is going to be easier if you can get used to just paying a subscription. Essentially, it's going to be easier to transition into when new consoles come out. I bet they're going to have some deal where you just roll on to the new one or whatever, or you trade your whatever version of Xbox you're currently paying on, roll it over into the new one, and then just take on the Xbox 2 or the Xbox One X2 or whatever it's going to be called. And the fact that it's 0% interest, so they're not making a ton of money off of it. To me, this is more a play about just getting more mind share, number one. Once people get used to the Xbox Game Pass, where every exclusive is going to be free, right? Or not free, but, come with the subscription, and Xbox Live is built in, you don't have to think about it. I think this is a brilliant move, and I think they're going to get a lot of converts. To me, they're consistently making move after move after move to just win the next generation. Some people are looking at this as like, oh, they're trying to pad those numbers a bit more and to really like eke out as many, console sales as they can have this year to like up their overall number. And I don't think they're doing that at all. I think they are fully aware and know like this generation is lost. It's a lost cause in terms of like winning it and coming out on top. I don't think anything that they've been doing, Game Pass, this All Access Pass, I think it's all about just putting themselves in the best position to have the most mind share going into next generation. And if this subscription does even a little bit well, because again, it probably is not costing them anything to do this really, and they're at least breaking even or making a little bit of money, if as it seems when you break down the numbers on the Xbox One X bundle, which is probably one they're assuming is going to sell the most just because it's the cheaper of the two. I think they're making brilliant moves. And I don't see Sony doing anything like this. Definitely not this gen. Maybe if this becomes a big success for them, I could see Sony maybe trying to dabble in this realm on whatever the next PlayStation is going to be. I tell you what. I think they just keep making brilliant move after brilliant move.
If like the Xbox launches like this, their next generation, which I would imagine they would, I mean, I might do it this way. As a father of three and got a family full of people that want to eat 3 times a day. I mean, it's definitely not like I think it's great. Even if you are paying a little bit more, that's just the price you pay for, financing like that.
It really is only, that price is only going to make sense now because, coming Black Friday, Xbox One X will have been out for 2 years or 3 years now. So it might be reduced in price and then these numbers don't technically work. But for that person who doesn't have $500 sitting there,
right?
That's going to work out. And quite frankly, I mean, let's just be real. There's tons and tons of people in America who aren't good at saving their money for a thing that they want to buy.
That's right.
They just want the latest, greatest right now. And they may not be able to come up with this amount of money based on whatever their situation is, but they can afford $35 a month or $22 a month.
That's
and they're
right.
like, I can get it now. And I can play, Halo 75 right now because it's the latest, greatest, hottest.
Even if it's a kid who wants a new console,
Yeah.
You know, you can say, well, hey, buddy, let's sit down and let's budget it out and take your lawn mowing money. And
exactly. And honestly, even more so than just being able to get it now and everything like that, like it's going to, I mean, just think about for years and years and years, and even still right now, kind of with cell phones, like this is how people get the latest iPhone when it comes up. They pay for the service plan at AT&T or through Apple or maybe, I don't know if Samsung does the same kind of thing for the Galaxy stuff, but they just be like, basically like after a year, you trade in your old phone and you can get the new one. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming if you haven't paid it off, you're going to have to trade in your Xbox towards the new one. But still, I mean,
I was going to say,
I think it's a brilliant move.
They have taken a chapter from the mobile service companies in that it's a 2-year commitment. And so they kind of lock you in there, which is great. And Chris, like you said, this is to get the Microsoft Xbox culture into almost every family possible.
That's what I think the big win is that there's
that's the big win for them is
easier
Xbox. The Xbox name will be way more widespread than the PlayStation name because they're just trying to get that culture going, and it's a brilliant move. It's really
because
good.
there are tons and tons of people who are like frugal and price conscious, and this will somewhat appeal to them. And then there's a huge swath of people that, quite frankly, I feel like this ends up being the case more often than not for most people. People are just lazy, and this is easy. Yeah. I don't have to think about this. I just pay the $35 and I got it all, and I don't have to worry about going or renewing or adding a card to this or paying. Okay, yeah, that's easy. Maybe at the end of the day, I'm paying a little bit more money. I don't know. I don't care. It's easy, and it's right now.
But they're using the service model, and everything is a service model now. I paid $12 for Netflix a month, or what? You know, I've got this for a month. It's just one more thing to add to a month. If I can fit it in my budget, done. Yeah, that's easy.
And
my kids will be happy.
To me, like this generation, I have not used my Xbox a ton. I mean, I think I've used it more than router, not as much nearly as like Ed. So I'm somewhere a little bit in the middle. But I was very much thinking, it's like, look, whenever the next version of the Xbox is going to be comes out, it's probably going to look awesome, and they're probably going to have some games that look great. But it's like, man, I don't know if I'm going to get it just because I just don't play the thing. But I would be way more interested in this. The only thing I don't like, because I'm one of those people that, like, every time I buy a cell phone, like, I buy it outright. I don't like subscriptions, mainly because at the end of the day, I end up paying more money. But with this subscription, you're really not. Yeah. You're either breaking even or maybe saving a bit of money.
I thought for sure they'd hit you with a finance fee or some sort of interest.
So I feel like I would probably I'm with you, Gabe. I would probably go this route on the next Xbox just because.
If you end up paying the same. Right?
Yeah, especially, I mean, it gets you in the door right away, and you're not, at the end of the day, you're not going to be out any more money.
Yeah, the only hiccup is, I don't know how this works, but like, especially for kids, kids don't have credit. You know what I'm saying? You still got to sign up for credit and all that, so it's still going to fall kind of to the parents. But I think
that is the other weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not weird.
You got to have like a Dell. Well, you got to sign up through, like, when you go to the Microsoft store, you have to sign up for like the Dell preferred program, something or other, and do it through there or something weird.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's kind of strange. Why can't I just give you my card and pay for it? And why can't I just do this online? Why do I have to go to a Microsoft store? They're not everywhere.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, they're trying to get people into the Microsoft store, though.
But if they spread it out to Microsoft and Dell, since you're doing stuff through Dell anyway, I think it'd be cool if I don't know. I like this. I don't think they would do it at launch, only because now we're kind of dealing with a reduced price, and it seems like, a couple years in, it's the smart thing to do. But I don't know. You would move units if you did it like this from Jump Street.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Every play that they're doing right now is for next gen, and they're making a lot of great moves.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I'll be doing this next time if they offer it. So we all know the Sony's 500 million limited edition PS4 Pro came out and sold out in like 3 seconds.
Yep.
And it's funny because a couple weeks ago, the question of the week I was going to have was, are we past the point of collectibles and things, buying things to be collected? And I'll tell you what, man, I don't know if this makes it a collectible, but it definitely makes it something that you can buy and have immediate money in your pocket. Because if you go over to eBay, these things are selling for $900 on average. And that's what you make $400 right off the get if you would have bought it, if you would have gotten it for $500. GameStop did kind of do a little thing that's I don't love, but what are you going to do? They rebundled it with like PS
Plus?
Yeah, with PS Plus. And I think something else. I think maybe the headphones. You didn't get the headphones before. So
that was a separate purchase.
Yeah,
for the headphones.
Headphones and PS Plus, and it was $800. Yeah, which is a lot of money. And so, but those two, boom, sold out. So, I
would like to get the controller, but I think it's even sold out now.
Do you think they'll make more of those though?
I would hope so, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're like, man, limited edition. Should have got on that train, son. Like, my bad, Sony. I just wanted to give you my money, but whatever.
Exactly.
I just wanted to give you my money.
Yeah, but with only 50,000 made, it seemed like it turned right into what they wanted it to turn into. It turned into a buying frenzy, and then people, reselling it for a crazy amount of money. So you can't be mad at the resellers.
I do think it's cool looking. I don't really feel like it's the coolest one that they've made to be worth pulling that kind of money. I think the 20th anniversary one was cooler than that. And I remember it getting upsold because, again, they were also in short supply, but I don't even remember them being over $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, eBay's going
Maybe they
crazy.
were. I just don't remember.
The highest one I saw sold, because I was just looking at selling, because you could ask for whatever, but the highest one I saw sold was $1,300.
Sheesh.
20 grand.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what I'm selling it for.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, if I have $1,300, then I feel like I have somebody that I could have had sitting at the computer waiting to get one for $500.
Right.
But some people kind of have the thing that I have. I don't know that I really want something until I can't have it.
Yeah.
Ed is taking me to task about that before. And so it made me really want one of these.
Of course it did.
Well, it doesn't help that you don't have a PS4 Pro. So
yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Or does it help? Because I don't know what I'm missing.
Well, but it doesn't help in that you're like, not only is it, I can't get it, now I want it, and it's something I don't have already.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. What else you got, Chris?
So Spider-Man is going to be coming out on September 7th, and they had a PlayStation blog article that released, I think, yesterday or the day before, and they're already announcing DLC for it.
That's right.
And I don't know, this kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit, honestly.
I was with you a little bit until I saw that it was coming out so soon.
Yeah, now that's part of the reason why I'm sure they're dropping it now. And plus, they had been saying, like, look, this game is going to be supported for a while, and this also backs up that claim. They're basically going to release kind of a season. I don't know if they're not calling it a season pass, but it's basically going to be 3 different chapters is what they're calling them. One is going to be called The Heist, and that's going to be followed by Turf Wars and then Silver Lining. And the first one, The Heist, is going to be releasing on October 23rd. And I think Turf Wars will be slated for sometime in November, and then Silver Lining sometime in December. We don't have specific days for either of those two. And it's only $25, which in terms of DLC doesn't feel like overtly expensive to me. Or if you decide you want to buy them individually because you just want to try the first one and see if you actually like it, you can buy them they'll be $10 each. And if you're one of those people that likes to buy things digitally and you buy the digital deluxe edition, the season pass or whatever they're calling it for these 3 chapters will be bundled into that. And the digital deluxe edition is $80. So the only thing to me was like, man, one, they've been covering the game like crazy and releasing so much information. And then it's like the game, like I almost would have felt better if it's like dropped on Friday and they're like, and on launch day, we want to also announce, here's the plan for support. Something's a little weird to me about like pumping and pushing hard the DLC when the game hasn't even dropped. And it would have been different. I guess it's weird because in my head, like a Call of Duty, it doesn't bother me when they're like, Black Ops 4 is coming and we're going to have a season pass for whatever, if they do.
Right.
That never is odd to me. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I feel like that's more like a game as a service. Because this is a single player game, and as how I think about it, the fact that they're announcing DLC and like more stuff to buy when the game hasn't even dropped, I don't know. It feels a little odd.
Yeah, but didn't they do that with like Far Cry and South Park? Like, I feel like going into those, I knew there was going to be 3 more Far Cry DLCs coming out. They even told us what the names were going to be.
Man, I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm not saying it's logical. It's just this is my brain. The minute I saw this, I was like, man, but the game hadn't even dropped. Really? You're already trying to upsell me on something?
Give people an opportunity to process the actual game first before you jump into this.
Oh, man.
I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because I feel like 9 times out of 10, I ain't mad at people making taking money and offering cool stuff. But for some reason, I just saw this like, really? I don't know why. It's one of those weird
I don't know why
confidence
either.
too.
Oh man, that's funny.
I mean, I was having a Gabe moment.
Exactly.
Oh, shoot. Can you give me a season pass demo?
Knee-jerk reaction,
There you
baby. I'm good for those knee-jerk reactions. I was hoping I was having a knee-jerk reaction to this Destiny thing.
And one thing that I will say about the Spider-Man thing is I had bought, and I paid for it a long time ago, I bought the collector's edition. That's one other thing I'm like, man, oh man, since they had announced it back then, I hope that old collector's edition is bundled in with that season pass, with that collector's edition, because I paid a lot of money for that.
I know that's right. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So CD Projekt Red talked about a Gwent standalone game coming out, and I think it was called Thronebreaker. And people were like a little disappointed, but it's actually not going to be solely Gwent anymore. CD Projekt Red is releasing Thornbreaker: The Witcher Tales, which is going to be a full featured standalone RPG with quests and of course Gwent. But they say it's supposed to be a lengthy, like 30-hour campaign with decisions, combat, and stuff like that. And I think they said it's like there's not a lot of information, but it's supposed to be definitely coming before Cyberpunk. So if you got that Witcher itch, you might be able to scratch it sooner than later.
That's so funny that it's called Thronebreaker, and I feel like Gwent is that perfect hashtag poop life game.
It is.
Right?
And so the fact that it's called Thronebreaker, I kind of like that.
Play on words.
Again, Ed is the smartest man in the room, and we're all just figuring that out.
Why did Hearthstone
I
not
think
jump
it's-
on that?
I think it's them.
Thronebreaker.
They're the smartest. Like, we know where people are going to be playing this.
Yeah, Porcelain Crasher. And I did want to do a shout out to Horizon Zero Dawn. Still $16 at Walmart for the complete edition. So if you haven't played that game, I'm loving it so far. And
Yay.
$16 is cheap for that game.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah, man.
What else you got, Chris?
The last thing that I have is Fortnite's Android beta was going to be a timed exclusive on Samsung devices. And so if you pre-ordered the Galaxy Note 9, you could get 1,500 V-Bucks, which I guess is an in-game currency for that game. And then also, if you were playing it on a Note 9 or a Tab S4, which I guess is a Samsung tablet, you can get you were able to unlock an exclusive skin for Fortnite.
Oh.
So people found out that, hey, we can just go to a store where they have these devices as demos, download the game, play 3 rounds, and then log into our account, play 3 rounds, and we can get all these exclusive features and then just put the phone back.
No way.
Or the tab back. Yep. And so Samsung kind of got a little irked because I think the way that it works is it's somehow tied to that device. So like once it's been logged in on that device, like it doesn't work on that device anymore in terms of acquiring the free stuff.
Jeez Louise.
I don't know how that gets tracked because they had to sign their account. And honestly, like it's still not the easiest thing. So one, you have to download the game, you have to log in with your account, and then you have to complete 3 matches. So for people that are able to go into a store, do all that stuff, and then walk out with exclusive skins and 1,500 free V-Bucks without somebody being like, hey, what are you doing over there? I mean, good on them, but
Right.
it's one of those things like I wish not that I really play Fortnite, but if I did, I wish this would have been the kind of thing that I would have thought about. That's so something I would have done.
That's
oh
funny.
man, I'm just gonna look at this. Fortnite. Oh, I'm just looking at
Yeah,
the
that's
thing. Man,
weird.
this
No, nothing,
scroll's
nothing.
so nice. Can you tell me more about the USB-C? And I'm just playing as the guy's like, well, let me break it down for you.
Exactly. That's
People,
funny.
man, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they
Gamers,
will.
will.
especially.
Yep. Logan Paul and them found out about that this weekend
Ugh.
when they tried to have their fight, and they were like, "Oh no, Twitch wins again. Nobody's paying $10 to watch you box. We'll just watch it pirated. It's just easier that way."
It is. Especially with that Joker.
Edward,
Yes, sir.
what you got, Bishop?
Well, over on the YouTubes, new this week that VR Here They Lie experience is there for you, so you can go and watch me jump. And I just wish that the PlayStation Eye could work for both streaming and VR at the same time, because you don't get to see me actually jump; you just get to hear me scream.
That's right.
Into the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at our top 10 YouTube videos for the week of August 21st through the 27th, combining average watch time and views. Number 10, Watch Dogs 2 Part 6, bottom dollar complete.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Hue Part 9, Mountains. Number 8, Married to the Games, episode 310, Accidental Stream.
Yep.
Throne Breaker. Number 7, Hue Part 5, Red. Number 6, Ori and the Blind Forest Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp. Number 5, Hue Part 7, Yellow. Number 4, Hue Part 10, University. Number 3, Hue Part 4, Pink. Number 2, Hue Part 11, Ending. Number 1, Thank You for Existing, Watch Dogs 2 Part 19, Paint Job.
Exactly right.
Jeez, nice.
Yeesh, beesh.
Oh my gosh. Well, every week. Oh, was there any free games?
There are some free games, yes, at least for the Xbox side of things.
Tell me about it.
We do have some free games. I'm glad you said that. I almost forgot. Coming September 1st to the 30th on Xbox One, Prison Architect.
Okay.
September 16th.
Yep. That's pretty much the reaction you'd get.
September
All right.
16th
Next.
to October 15th. I don't know if it's Live Lock or Live Lock. Either way, it sounds like something I don't know about.
Yeah.
On the Xbox One and 360, September 1st to the 15th, Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. Check it out. Free Legos.
Yep.
And then September 16th to the 30th, Sega Vintage Collection Monster World.
There you go.
So there's some games getting out of the way of a big fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, can we come out before everything else?
Right.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Thanks, Eduardo.
You're welcome.
Last week was no different. We asked you, what was your favorite episode of Married to the Game so far, and where would you tell someone to start? And we got some love on this one. So
nice.
That's fun. Starting over on Twitter, we got Jeff the Android. He said, my favorite episode is episode 0. It's the one you guys made just for the newbies as a first taste and had the 4 of you taking your stories, favorite games, and scattering about the episode in fan-voted favorite moments. Wait, that doesn't exist? It should.
Nice.
Get on that, Patrick Novosel.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, he responded to it. He goes, you mean this one? And it was the best of Married to the Games that he put together.
Nice.
It's only 50 episodes, though, Patrick. Freaking slacker. There's 300. D-Life HD. He says Assassin's Creed Oranges.
Nice.
O_re_bot. He said gotta be TR falling asleep.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Over on Facebook, Tim Pollen, I'd say start at the current episode. If they like it, back to episode 1. That's what I did.
There you go.
There you go.
I came in at 226. I'm currently at 201. Hot garbage, not yum. I'll be savoring the last 25. Cheers, guys.
Nice.
Robert Darrow Good Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Said Bojangles. That was a good episode.
Oh, that was good.
Buttery biscuits.
Give me some Bojangles.
Herman Scott, episode 205, whitewater rafting. Me and a coworker of mine was dying laughing hearing Ed tell his story and Gabe telling him constantly to stay home next time.
That's awesome.
That was good.
Super listener Chad Fackler. That's a tough one. I can't say that I've heard any bad episodes. I came in a little over a year ago and haven't missed one since, but I've also gone back and restarted at the beginning when I've had time. I guess tell them to start current, but go back and sample. But the dad jokes episode is one of my current favorites.
Oh, that's good.
As there's nothing funnier than hearing Chris just come unglued hearing some of those jokes.
That's a great sound. I love that sound.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's a good sound.
And the episode right before that led to the dad jokes one. Josh Stapleton, Street Team. Favorite is really hard to pick. I won't count 200 and 300 attending live shows. Is obviously way better than listening at home, ever will be. But that said, 189 red wine and cauliflower was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bud.
As for where I tell people to start, and yes, I do recommend it to every gamer I know, I always recommend the most current one. That said, I have had a number of friends go back and listen to the beginning and catch up.
Nice.
Peter Horvath. Horvath.
Don't hurt yourself now.
Yeah, exactly. any episode is a good place to start. The guys on this show are always on point. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Over on Discordia, Burnaby Butters, Narcoleptic Tiger Claw, forgot the name of the one with the story of the hurricane and the cruise, and the recently cleaning lady while recording.
That was so funny.
That was fun.
That was good.
Oh my gosh. Mama Bread fan.
Oh,
It has to be red wine and cauliflower. I was cracking up almost the whole show. I even replayed it for Keith, and we both laughed just as hard listening to it again. Plus, Router gave me the platinum trophy at the very beginning of the show. However, the love fest at the end of the E3 episode show warmed this Mama Bread fan's heart so that it may be my all-time true favorite.
That was a really good moment.
That was a good one.
It was. Not Mr. Not So Kosher, aside from the obvious narcoleptic and alcohol/vegetable episode, I personally enjoyed the episode where Nova Beyond and Mark Boucher and I mistakenly got banned. My wife loved it so much that she also banned me and told me to get to that honeydew list.
That's awesome.
Funny.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for all the answers. That's so much fun. There's a lot of them on there. Man. I would encourage these other three guys to go read through them. There's a lot of memories on there that we might have forgot about. I love it so much. So good. Gosh, red wine and cauliflower. That junk was so funny.
That was good. That was good.
Well, let's wait. Nope. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/married to the games, marriedtothegames.com. Now on Patreon, patreon.com/MTTG. And Extra Life is coming up. extra-life.org/team/MTTG. Come join up with your boys. And Router.
Rate us on iTunes so you can Naruto our Burruto.
Yeah. That's right. You got to.
You got to.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're going to start Discord. Betstone, what soon-to-be released game has you excited that your other hosts aren't nearly excited for? Can be anything being released prior to next year's E3. And what are you going to say and or do in order to get them to play it? I think you all are sleeping on Spidey. I don't think we are. Anthem has me very excited, and I'm going to work hard on you, Tim, for you to join the community and play that one with us. I know I'm sleeping on Spidey a little bit because I'm kind of like, meh, and I'll let you guys play it for a little while. But I know you guys are jumping.
And I did say that I had gotten less excited about it a couple weeks ago, but my excitement has gone back up again.
Right.
That's hard.
I'm going to say Tomb Raider for me. I am definitely going to play that game because I've played the other ones and I enjoy them. And I think some of you guys probably aren't too into it right now.
I'm sleeping on that.
Which game? Sorry, I didn't.
Tomb Raider.
Which one did you? Oh, yeah, Tomb Raider.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ed, I think you'll play that one.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm really excited for it because I love those games. I've always had a really great time with those games.
Oh man, I don't even know what's coming out, to tell you the honest truth. I'm trying to think. I'm excited about Spider-Man.
Last of Us 2, October 15th. Surprise announcement.
Exactly. I think the only game that I'll probably play, even though I don't know. I mean, I got to play the next Call of Duty. And so, and I think that'll be probably me alone. Maybe Chris will dabble in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I bought last year's, which was the first one I'd bought in about 2 years, I think. And I definitely want to try. I've been checking. I got the beta or whatever for the multiplayer and Blackout, but I don't think the Blackout beta has dropped yet.
Well,
so I definitely want.
There was a couple weekends of it already.
But they had the multiplayer beta, and then it was going to stop for a bit, and then the Blackout one's coming later on, which is the Battle Royale.
September,
so it hasn't actually dropped yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll dabble with that, and if I enjoy that, then I think that more so than anything will push me to buy Call of Duty, because I don't really care about the campaign. I mean, I played last year's campaign, but it's just because I'm a World War II guy. I dig that. I don't really care at all about Call of Duty campaigns anymore. So if Blackout is really cool, because I feel like the multiplayer will be solid. It always is. So I have no doubt that I would enjoy that. So there's a chance that I'll get that. But I'm also kind of interested in the Battlefield one as well.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, we'll just have to see. I honestly, I can't think of a game that I've mentioned. I mean, outside of, because I feel like at least with those two, Gabe at the very least might be interested in it. So I can't think of a game that I'm considering getting that there's not at least one of you guys that also is considering.
Yeah, probably a Switch something or other.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
For me, if I'll be the only one that gets anything Switch.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Good question. Eric Thompson, here's a fun
Ed, are
one.
you excited about anything?
Oh, yeah, Ed, I'm sorry.
I think Red Dead is the only one I'm excited about. That I'm not sure you guys are stoked about.
No.
But I, at the same time, as far as like what will I do to convince, I'm not here to convince anyone to play anything. I can just say what I thought and let the cards fall where they may.
There you go.
I am planning to get Red Dead, but I'm not, only because like the gameplay breakdown was like, man, this looks pretty good. I'll give this a shot. I'm kind of, even though I feel like I'm committing to do it, I'm at the same time, I'm like, man, I'm kind of expecting it to go the way of GTA, where I'm just going to lose interest about core the way through. I hope that's not the case, and I want to give it a shot because I feel like it's a strong Game of the Year contender, and I want to have. I hate it when we come to Game of the Year and it's like, well, I played like one of the ones that most people are really considering.
Right.
I want to have at least two of the big games under my belt, and I feel like I'll have at least more than that because I think Spider-Man might be thrown in there as well.
Oh yeah.
So
there you go.
There you go. Sorry, Ed.
That's all good.
All right, Eric Thompson, here's a fun one. Thanks to the spell work of the powerful wizard Anorak, you are able to communicate with any of your pets for 60 seconds. If you don't have a pet, then choose an animal or something, play fair. You can dialogue in the King's English, going back and forth as you will. At the end of 60 seconds, you revert back to human to animal communication, but with the knowledge of whatever you shared in that minute or of clear communication. So, number 1, what animal would you want to talk to? Number 2, what questions would you ask? And number 3, what would you want to tell them most of all in a way they could clearly understand? For me, I'd want to talk to my dog Slippers, the Basset Hound. I'd want to ask her if she resented me because I didn't spend more time with her at home when she was a puppy. I'd want to tell her that even though I had to leave her with Grandma and Grandpa, my parents, I still love her, and she will always be my dog and my dear friend. That's very sweet.
There you go.
I would so tell my cat the opposite.
Yep. Pretty sure you would.
Yeah, Mr. Snuggles up and put hands on paws and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you would,
you guys are holding hands.
I tell her that even though we can't communicate all the time.
That's
Can't
hilarious.
stand you. You're just a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here.
Chris, what about you?
As you snuggle
I
up
would
there.
talk to my dog. As far as what all I would say, the few things I would just want to know, like, why does she freak the heck out at windshield wipers? Why does she go after the television screen? Not just if there's another animal, but if like a person's swinging a golf club, like anything, like just the randomest thing,
funny.
she'll go like, and like be trying to get them on the TV.
That's funny.
And then outside of those two questions, I would just, I'd say tell her how much I care for her so that she knows and doesn't have to wonder. And then hopefully she would say the same thing back and not be like, well, screw you, I hated you always, and then run away. I'm hoping that wouldn't be the case. She'd be saying nice things back.
That'd be funny though.
I'd rather talk to your guys' dogs than my cat.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell all your dogs that I love them.
There you go.
Yeah, I think same thing. I mean, same thing as Chris said. Just be like, hey, we still love you, right? I know we got a lot of kids running around and our attention goes there, but you were before all these jokers. And, we got
That's
you
right.
on purpose. One of these jokers we had on accident.
Yeah. One of them was a mistake. Wow. That's awful.
Not a mistake, an accident.
Nope, an accident. There you go.
Yeah. A surprise.
There you go.
Yeah.
A surprise. Yes, surprise. A happy surprise.
Unforeseen.
We looked
That's
you up
funny.
on the internet. We went to your house and we stole you from your parents.
There you go. Child services are right on their way. I, of course, would talk to Thaxton. I'd tell him to stop barking, even though I still love him. But I would actually just be like, hey, listen, why are you barking all the time? You know that when I play with Piper, it's playing. I'm not trying to murder her or anything. Just chill out.
Yeah, exactly.
We're fine.
What is it with the doorbell already? Yeah.
Right. So there's a time and a place to bark. If there's something that you don't see or that you see that we don't, that is alarming, then by all means bark. But please just chill out for a little bit. But we love you. So
there you go. Good. I like that.
Thank you, Eric. That's awesome. B-Dog1221. A lot of schools are canceling because of the heat advisory. Is this a new thing? I don't want to sound old, but back in my day, school was open unless it couldn't be open via snow. Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize either. Like, I remember in school, like we could, if it was hotter than 85, you could wear shorts, t-shirts, and just be as comfortable as possible to get through it. It's one of those, suck it up, people. It's hot. Let's go. We're still learning.
Yeah, that's weird. Heat advisory.
Yeah, I've not heard that.
Isn't that just stay inside? Like, just don't have recess or something?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's some schools out there that are really old and, just have like the window units and can't cool very well, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want my kid to go to school in, let's say, 98-degree weather with 80% humidity if the air conditioner didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
But I don't know, that's only if the air conditioner is broke, though. Otherwise, I need you jokers going to school.
Yep. You need to go. Q, here we go. So you are hungry and you have $5 to spend. What is your go-to cheap fast food meal?
That's tough. It's a toss-up between Wendy's and Sonic, probably.
Ooh, nice.
If I only have $5,
equally delicious.
If I had a little bit more, I'd go to Five Guys, probably. But I think $5 I could get full at Wendy's or Sonic. Yeah, I'm going with that. Chris?
I feel like Wendy's is the best one because they have like the 4 for $4 thing or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and
got that going on.
There you go.
I can get full off that.
Ed?
Is Subway fast food?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I'll do that.
It's not $5 though.
Yeah,
I mean they used to have the $5 foot long. Yeah.
Don't they
still? Do they still do that?
I don't know, but I'm gonna feel like they do.
Oh, you know what? I went to Jersey Mike's. That's where I just was, and it was expensive.
Oh yeah, man.
Sorry.
That is delicious.
Yeah, maybe Subway is $5. Tim?
There you go. Man, I'm probably getting that McDonald's 2 cheeseburger meal.
Yes, sir. That number 2, Bishop.
Number 2, yeah. Yeah, I'm all.
That's how I knew Jenny was my wife. Was we were dating, and I was like, "Yeah, let me get a number 2 with a Sprite, no pickles." She goes, "Let me get the same thing." I was like, "Oh."
You were like, "Marry me."
You're the one.
That's awesome.
You're the one.
I actually called my mom.
Did you really?
I was like, "You will not believe what happened."
That's amazing.
This girl got the same thing as McDonald's that I got.
That's amazing. All right, Mr. Not So Kosher. Here we go. Hey, my dudes, how goes it? Ready to discuss another question based on this day in history?
Sure.
Well, in 1964, right. Well, in 1964, the Disney classic Mary Poppins was released in theaters. I actually showed this movie to my kids a few weeks ago, and it was interesting to see how they went from disinterested to intrigued while they experienced many memorable songs and the classic scenes and settings of this timeless film. So my question is this, for your kids or kids in general, since half of you don't have any, what films are must-see for all generations now to come? They can be animated, live action, childhood classics, etc., as long as they educate them young whippersnappers and show them what real movies are made of.
The Matrix?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that last part, but I have movies that I think they should see.
Films are must-see for all generations now and to come.
I can agree with The Matrix.
You can or can't?
I can. I agree with that.
I will not agree with The Matrix at all. Not at all.
Why?
You're banned.
Not even. That's
Tim
not
banned.
Even banned. It was good. It wasn't that good.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is,
you are insane.
Number one, it started so many things in pop culture that I think we would have. I mean, I think we would have gotten there, but it was a springboard for so many things like Bullet Time and the way they just that coding you saw all over the place after it was gone. It was a phenomenon, and so I think
like it's freezing the picture and the camera rotates around the person.
Yeah, you had never seen that before, and everybody has used it since. And so I think it's cool to be like, hey, this is where that started at. And these guys had never done a proper movie before. You should live your dreams out. What say you, Tim?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah.
I can't wait to hear this.
Exactly. Impress me.
Yeah. This better be good.
Her? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't know. I would think
shadow on wall with my hands.
Shadow puppets.
Flip book movie.
Hide from moon, scary star in sky.
That's so good. Man, I don't know. I think Jurassic Park is better. E.T. is better. Like some of the classics like that are, I think, because those were like the true pioneers of new graphics and shoot, just storytelling as well. So
You mean also pioneers, not true like Matrix wasn't.
yeah, I mean, I guess.
Oh man.
But I was not a fan of the story of the Matrix. Like
What?
I thought it.
The story of the first Matrix is amazing. The other two is trash.
Yeah, exactly. I get what you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren and I went in there like, and we walked out like, what did we just see? Like,
That's because you went and saw it with Lauren.
Yeah.
If you would have seen it by yourself, you'd have liked it. I guarantee.
I watched it again by myself. I mean, I still watched it, but I don't think that's a classic for all generations to see.
Yeah, I feel you.
Agree to disagree.
It's weird. Ed?
I'm going to go with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Well done. That's a good one. Any Spielberg.
Oh, man. Good question.
Did we get everybody?
I'd go with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I'm not mad at any of those answers.
Wait, did Chris say one?
No, I think you need to see Star Wars, at least the original one. I understand that it's cheesy and corny, and I understand that, but you need to. I think you should see that.
That's
I think
a culture
that
changer.
I think that Home Alone is an essential
Oh,
Christmas
that was
movie.
a good
to see.
movie.
I think that one's
one.
one that you definitely have to see.
Yes.
That's a good one,
Young
man.
angst.
I can
Yeah.
agree with Jurassic Park, at least the original one, if not
Yes.
the other ones as well. I haven't actually seen all the other ones, but I can definitely agree with that. I totally will put Matrix in there.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get a little bit older, and depending on their situation and everything like that, I almost want to put Fight Club in there as well.
Oh, dude. I'm wearing a Fight Club shirt right now.
Good call.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I wish I had a Fight Club shirt.
That's a great call, Chris. Wow.
I love that movie, man.
Yeah, that
when
movie
I
is
saw, I can
good.
remember distinctly when I saw that one and The Matrix in the theater, because that was back when I went to theaters. Both of those, I left feeling like, what did I just watch? I've got to see that again. Those are like the two of the few times that's ever happened to me in a movie theater. That wasn't like a summer action packed blockbuster. It was like, I just want to see that again because it was fun. But I mean, literally, like I was like, I can't believe what I just watched. That was awesome.
Those movies that make you like a couple days later, you're still thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
Seven. Oh,
Yes.
I hate to say this. I've got to get going soon, so we're gonna get two more.
Do
two more
it.
questions for you.
Yeah,
Facebook,
man, we understand.
Facebook, Gabriel Anthony Marcano. My wife and I just closed on our first home.
Hey,
congratulations.
That's awesome.
We will be spending all of September painting and moving in. Well, I will be doing most of the moving since my wife is 8 months pregnant.
I know that's right.
Ooh.
Do you have any tips for first-time homeowners?
Oh, put money aside.
Save money.
Yep.
Yes.
Put some money aside. Get as many Home Depot gift cards as
And don't
you
be
can.
surprised by how much you're going to end up spending.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have some spackle and paint handy
And toilet paper.
and toilet
Yeah.
paper.
Yes.
On TV, all the projects take a half hour.
Yep.
So by the end of the show, it's done.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not real life.
That's not, it takes
Yeah.
45
That
minutes.
is not.
Mhm.
Nope.
So
Yeah,
make sure
it-
both of you are prepared for that realism.
Exactly.
Take your time. If you need to, take it room by room. Do the most used
Mhm.
places of the house first, and then branch out from there.
Yeah. And then further down the road, I would say you own it. Take care of it. You own
There
it.
you go.
It's
Yeah.
not an apartment.
Yes.
It's not something you can just
Yep.
leave. You want to make money on it at the end of the day. So take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And take care of your HVAC units. Change your filters every month.
There you go.
All right. Final question. Travis Reeves, you now have to wear the clothes of the protagonist of the last game you played for a week. How
Ooh.
lucky or unlucky are you?
Oh, gosh.
Well, since I have a butt lord costume on right now from South Park, I'll be a little ridiculed for the week, I'm sure.
Yeah, Chris.
I don't mind so much the outfit, but I feel bad because of my Connor does not live very long. So I'm going to be looking like the android Connor, and I'm probably not long for this world until I get rebooted.
Yeah.
Poor Connor
With purple
keeps dying.
blood all over yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Edward.
I'm pretty lucky. I was playing Sunset Overdrive, and I dressed him to look like me. So t-shirt and jeans is
Nice, nice.
I
Well
like
done.
it. Well, I'm about to have a whole new group of friends because the
Yes,
last
you are.
game I played was Horizon Zero Dawn.
You are looking fine in
Oh
those
yeah, baby.
those fur boots.
Come
Fur
on.
boots, baby.
Who's ready for me?
Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
With the fur. I'm ready.
Oh, that's
I want you to
so
have one of those shaman headdresses that you visit at the outposts.
That'd
Which
be
that's what you
amazing.
played as.
Oh, that's so funny.
I like it.
Thank you, everybody, for the questions. I'll keep some of these for next week just because I know we got to go.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, really quick. The question of the week for you guys. Has there ever been a game type that you were naturally good at? Has there ever been a game type you were naturally good at? For some reason, and I don't know if it's because I do music or what, but like I can just pick up a rhythm game and play it.
yeah.
And I'm
you can.
usually
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
pretty good. I had the embarrassing story of being at E3 a couple years ago, right when Guitar Hero Live was coming out. And they had me step up there, had never played it before, and I beat everyone, and people were gathering around, and it was really embarrassing. They're like, oh my gosh, look at this guy. He's killing it. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. And she was like, how many times have you come up and play this? I was like, this is my first time playing it. So
That's amazing, dude.
has
Well
there
done.
ever been a game type that you were just naturally good at, whether it's action and adventure or the puzzles, you're easy, puzzles come easy to you? What kind of game, Chris McCracken?
The only game that I feel like I'm naturally okay at, I don't want to say good, is I can pretty much wrap my head around any first-person shooter game pretty quickly.
There you go.
And usually know what to do and where to go and how to juke and dodge and yada yada.
There you go. Edward?
I'll take a trivia game.
Yeah, you
Yeah, you
will.
will.
You are good at those.
Yes, you will. Jackbox Fridays.
Tim?
Maybe action adventure.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a good gamer, but I think for action adventure, like because I take my time everywhere and search everything to gather as much loot as I can while I'm on my quest.
There you
go. I'll go with that.
I like that.
Nice.
Let us know what game type you guys are naturally good at. We'll talk about it next week. Thank you guys so much for being here. 311 in the books. We appreciate you guys being around and sticking around. And for all the love from the question the week before. We appreciate
Yeah, man, that was
that.
awesome.
Yes.
Warms our
Thank you.
hearts.
Thank you.
I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games. And we are up out this thing. Bitch!